Hello everybody and welcome back to Apollo Applications Program. Now, this episode is starting out with a huge development in our technology. This is the Saturn 1E. It is a really upgraded Saturn 1B and has a bunch of really interesting technologies that you'll see later in this mission. First of all, which you can notice straight on launch, on the bottom stage, instead of just having the standard H1Cs and H1D engines, it has also some E1s. So far more powerful engines that are required to lift this heavy stack into orbit. You might also notice that the Saturn, that it is also a bit elongated, it's a bit longer. And, well, you can see here, stage separation happens. You can also notice that on the side of the service module, which you also might notice looks a bit different, we have solar panels. This is because we have now moved from the standard Apollo service module. This is a test flight of the ACSM, the Advanced Command Service Module. It looks similar to the standard service module, but holds more fuel and, holds more fuel and is slightly lighter in mass. Also, the second stage has two engines, and these two engines are J2S's, which are another upgrade over our previous J2s. And the engines fire and we shoot our way towards the moon. Yes, I mean it. We're going to the moon with this. Due to the ACSM holding so much more fuel than the standard Apollo systems, we can now perform truly immense maneuvers. And which means that the Saturn 1B can now perform lunar orbits, and now makes the Lunar Gateway Station as accessible as Skylab. And yes, I also had a concurrent mission with this, where I also flew to Skylab, but I already showed you Skylab, so I'm not going to show you that. Anyways, the solar panels are deployed and you can see the full ACSM stack, which is the ACSM, the solar panels, the Block 3 command module housing 5, not 3 crew members, and its complementary Block 3 orbital mission module, which fits due to the fact that it is an orbital mission. But anyways, here we come in for a docking with the Gateway Station. And after a bit of a finicky docking sequence, finally the ACSM is able to dock to the Gateway. And now the ACSM undocks and prepares for its maneuver home. Yes, the ACSM really is a huge improvement. And speaking of cool things, well, next episode, it's getting real. Next episode, I announce we are performing a flyby of Mars. Yes, this is the start of our Mars missions, and I'll be doing a flyby. So that is certainly very exciting. Also, annoyingly, just after this mission, I recorded another one, but accidentally deleted it, proceeded to move it to my recycling bin, and permanently delete it. Because I was deleting also a bunch of other video files from last episode. So, sorry about that. But basically, what happened there is that if you'd looked into the description of last video, you will have noticed that actually last cinematic wasn't actually our main lunar base. That was a temporary shelter, which I guess is also technically our first base. So I just left it in there. But really, that was just a shelter. And so in this episode, we're going to, in that little bit of recording that I forgot to do, I actually landed the proper base on the moon. And this is, I landed the first module of the actual base. But in the meantime, here we go, landing, going back to Earth. How great. And we have a bit of a bumpy touchdown, but it can be expected because we landed on a plateau. And here we are, the second time in this series, we have now used a Saturn derivative vehicle. This is the Saturn 5... No, sorry, it's the Saturn multi-launch vehicle -4, I'm pretty sure. And this is just a really tall Saturn 5 without the third stage, basically. And this is carrying the first module of Jamestown Lunar Base. The first large module. And this, unlike the past two bases, which I also are technically shelters, but the second one was more of a base, this one is going to be the first part of our proper lunar base. Isn't that pretty exciting? And as we fly up into the clouds and the Saturn multi-launch vehicle -4 shoots out of the cloud layer, it is just so beautiful how everything came out. I'm very excited for this Mars mission. The 3 Mars missions, so the 2 Mars missions before the landing mission and the landing mission at this point have already been plotted out, and oh my god, has there been so much planning going into them. But, oh well, you know what? It just has come out so beautifully, and I'm very happy with it. Of course, the Mars missions will be quite far apart from each other. One Mars mission will happen about there'll be one Mars mission every round about 2 years. Every 2 Mars transfers, basically. This is because it takes quite a while to build a Mars-rated vehicle. And the flyby mission is actually going to be very simple. And the flyby mission doesn't even use the ACSM, it uses the standard command service module, because the flyby mission needs a fuel cell, which is why I need the standard service module, because the ACSM does not have a fuel cell. That's one of its few limitations. Anyways, these couple of missions have gone pretty perfectly, apart from last mission. If you might have noticed, I had an engine failure. And I had to reignite one of my upper stage J2s. But this lunar base module flies away from Earth using its upgraded second stage. And yes, this second stage is lunar rated. It is 6 meters longer than the standard upper stage, which allows it to reach the moon with just about enough fuel. And I really mean just about. It only had 100 meters per second by the time it reached the moon. And, well, the base module ignites its engines and goes down to the surface. The landing burn starts, and we get closer and closer to the ground, only keeping the throttle on 15% as the descent goes down. And we come in for a touchdown. This touchdown was very stressful because you'll see it tips over, but actually it doesn't fully fall. And the first module of Jamestown Lunar Base is officially in place. I'll see you guys and see all of you in the next episode of Apollo Applications Program, the flyby of Mars. Goodbye.